Yeah, I realize this is like blasphemy to the hardcore gamers, but I don't do the whole Japanese import thing. You know, I'm perfectly content to play what comes to the US and, you know, what I can understand. What the hell is this? So when the wise and scholarly Keenan from Iowa sent this game and asked for my thoughts on it, well, I'm a man of the people. Actually, that's not at all true. But Keenan's a pretty cool dude, so this is Kururin Paradise and a bunch of shit I can't read for the Game Boy Advance.
Kururin Paradise!
Now, first off, I can tell you what I do know, and that's that Kuririn is a series of Japanese puzzle games on the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube. After playing this one, I can see why it's a Japanese series. I'm not sure these games would fly in the States. See, because it looks like a propeller, and it has that. And it has no puns. Or you know what? Or maybe it does. I have no idea. So from what I can gather, which frankly isn't much, this is a puzzle game in which players have to clear a maze with a flying freaking stick. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. Of course, the catch is that that stick is constantly spinning. So to move through the maze without crashing into walls, you have to be, you know, not me. I'm terrible at this. I know there's an easy mode, but I'll be damned if I can find it. Despite me lacking even a fraction of the required patience and otaku-ness that's required to play this thing, I really like Kuririn as a puzzle game. It's totally unique. It's almost a genre unto itself. It's much more complex than most traditional puzzle games, which means it's also a lot more difficult. You see, a game like Tetris is more mental than physical. That is to say, it takes more thinking than reflexes, although it certainly requires both. But with Kuririn, I feel like that ratio is actually flipped. There's clearly strategy involved, but it's more about the player's reflexes, patience, and ability with the D-pad. It's more of a physical puzzler. The game's also really good about dangling carrots in front of you, and it tracks all your record times, and you can earn gold stars for completing levels without bumping into walls. So there's always a little incentive to play again, and that's a huge part of the game's lasting appeal. It's addictive and really simple in structure, which is a nice contrast to the game's functional complexity. I'd never played Kururin before. Frankly, I'm not sure I'll ever play it again, but after giving it a go, I've come to better understand a few things. I understand why people import stuff like this, because there's not much like it in the States. I understand why people speak highly of this series, because Kururin Paradise is a great puzzler. And of course, I also understand why it stays in Japan.